רגע, אתה רוצה ברגליים שלך? כן, הפלאפון שלי קצת, קינדל קצת, לא יודעת מה. בוא נלך לפה. Good morning. Zaatara Junction. Our regular Friday morning demonstration. And as you guys can see, this is absolutely not for us. Lots and lots. Closed military area.
Two and a half years ago, whenever I saw soldiers as an Israeli Zionist patriot, I felt such a confident in bitachon, security,
Safe.
and safety and safe. And now, whenever I see them, I feel such terror in me. So it's amazing.
You feel terror?
Yeah, and when I see them, I start.
Really? You start shaking and whatever?
Start
Really?
shaking. Yeah.
They make me angry. They make me aggressive, if already.
No. I see this as
Really?
unfriendly.
Okay.
Group.
Okay, well, don't let them intimidate you, Ben.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Let's go to the gate. Okay. Never a dull moment on our regular Friday mornings, clearly. Well, let them do whatever they're doing here. Closed military area for us, at least the parking lot. We are more than 4 people, guys. Okay, let's see where they are going. So, just to update everybody else, the holiday is starting tonight. The fast for our Palestinian friends will be over. Now, because of that, because of the holidays, etc., there are no demonstrations whatsoever taking place. Looking at me, pointing at me, me. Over there. Let me go to these guys. Let me just pretend I'm not here. So, no demonstrations are taking place today in occupied Palestine. We're waiting for the rest of our friends. There is no demonstration with an occupation. They are parked over there. Now again, we are here, the weekly demonstration, to show our support to the Palestinian population, that not every Israeli is or a nasty soldier or a nasty settler. Allow them in. Hey guys, let me get my notes. So Zaatara Junction, occupied Palestine. Last night, Beta, Israeli army found it necessary for the second night in a row to go into Beta. Not really clear why, what they were looking for there. Resulting in last night, 33 Palestinians wounded. And that's just last night. Okay, I'm going to get my glasses. And as there still is a fast today, if I understand correctly, and tonight, the Chag, the holiday. Oh. There will be a demonstration though today in Sheikh Jarrah. Important one. So everybody who can join, let's meet in Sheikh Jarrah today. Because that demonstration, weekly demonstration, already for 14 years, 15 years I think we're entering now, maybe already fucking 16 years, against the cleansing of the Palestinian population in East Jerusalem, Sheikh Jarrah. Last week Friday, a member of the Jerusalem whatever, we see him Yoni, we see him always standing against. He is basically trying to get the family Salem out of their house. So last week he found it necessary on Friday, we're still in the Ramadan, to throw alcohol over the door entrance of the family. Not really clear why, what the dude was thinking, with his helmet on, running away. I immediately recognized him. If I can recognize the asshole, everybody can. Police, after an hour, he came back to Sheikh Jarrah. How dumb can you be? He was taken to the station. Here's Danny, taken to the station. And 2 weeks he's not allowed to get close to Sheikh Jarrah. And that's what we're doing it for, guys, for these big smiles that we're getting on the Palestinians, are really appreciating. Now, last week I was sick. So my summary is of the last week and a half. Here you guys can see a Zionist settler that find it absolutely necessary. Take pictures. Yalla. Now, it is a bit crazy. I have, seriously, this is my 2 sides. I wrote so tiny, I'm not even sure I can read it all. But I am going to, because it's a great picture. Okay, let's just say hi to Danny because we haven't seen him in a while.
Hello.
It is so nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too.
How are
I
you
missed you.
doing? We missed you.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite strange to be back here, you know. Yeah.
One day you're abroad and then suddenly poof, you're back in
Yeah,
Zaatara.
the day before yesterday in Malta, peaceful Malta, and 2 days later Here again in Palestine.
Boom, you are.
From from Hul to Hul, from abroad to abroad.
Abroad to abroad.
איפה השטחים הגדולים שלנו?
Okay. Yalla, let's give you guys an update what happened in occupied Palestine for the last 10 days. One of the things that happened in the last week and a half. What is it today? What are we today? 21, 22? Earlier this week, April 17, it was Palestinian Prison Day. Where I can tell you that so far, 2,300 in 2023, 2,300 Palestinians have been arrested. 350 minors have been arrested already, Palestinian kids, and 40 females. Right now, close to 5,000 Palestinians are being held in an Israeli jail. That is in itself against the law. The occupied cannot take the occupiers into their territory. They should stay in occupied Palestine. They're not. International law not allowed. That's what's happening right now. 4,900. Of these 4,900, close to 1,000 Palestinians are held under administrative detention. That means there has not been a trial, no evidence being shared. You are in jail and you don't know why. I know why. I can tell you why. Because you're a Palestinian. So close to 1,000 Palestinians right now are held in prison for no reason except that they are Palestinians. Now, of these 1,000 Palestinians that are being held under administrative detention, Israel is so extremely nice to have 6 minors, 6 kids, minor kids that are held in Israeli jail with no trial. So 6 kids, Palestinian kids right now are in jail with no trial.
Palestine
350 kids were arrested, not in jail. 350 kids so far arrested, and 40 females. 4,900 in jail. Of these, 160 kids, 31 females, 19 Palestinian journalists right now are in Israeli jail. 4 or 5 of them under administrative detention, are being held under administrative detention. 19 Palestinian journalists. 554 Palestinians are sentenced to death. I don't even want to say what their crime was besides being a Palestinian, because in most of the cases that's their crime. Now there are 700 prisoners being held that are chronically sick, and the Israeli occupation force is not giving them any medical care. We call that medical negligence. Negligence. God. 700. One of them is Walid Daka. He's already for 40 years in jail. He is in the terminal stages of his sickness, and Israel does not allow his family to say goodbye. Also this week, 20 years that the Israeli occupation force, 20 years ago, killed the UK, killed the United Kingdom activist Tom Randall. Baruch Hashem have nothing to do with it. Zero. You should stop using that fucking sentence. He was shot in the head by the Israeli occupation force 20 years ago. He died 9 months later, 26-year-old. And then we have Walid, yeah, this week. And then the Israeli occupation force decided to close the investigation regarding Ahmed Abu Hussein. He was a journalist that was shot by the Israeli occupation force by a sniper in Gaza's Great March of Return. He was shot in the head 20 years ago. Nobody was being held accountable, and they decided right now, because no offense. There was no offense. In the meantime, there are these two guys here. There's one now just walked away and he just pushed it. I'm sorry. That's what I said earlier. Now, the Israeli occupation force is also stopped the inquiry into the death of the Dr. Mohammed al-Saidi, who was shot at the gates of Al-Aqsa a few weeks ago. And of course, there were no cameras that recorded the killing, even though the old city in Jerusalem is the most, you cannot fart and nobody knows it. But you can kill a Palestinian without somehow, interestingly, cameras weren't working, body cameras weren't working. 20 shots were fired. Also, in that case, no offense was committed. That's the result of the inquiry that has been stopped. Because Israel can kill Palestinians as much as they can without anybody being put into jail or whatever. No responsibility. Now, so far in 2023, 100 Palestinians have been killed. 2,800, and it's without the 33 from last night. 2,800 Palestinians wounded. 18 kids were killed. 18 Palestinian kids were killed by the Israeli occupation force in 2023. Over 55 raids have taken place. Ten Palestinians were wounded in the last week by live ammunition. Live ammunition. One Palestinian was left bleeding to death. He could have been saved. The Israeli occupation force refused the medical team access. So he died bleeding to death. He could have been saved. No. A 15-year-old was shot in the head. A 15-year-old. Twelve minors have been arrested. One one 6-year-old was taken into interrogation. A 6-year-old Palestinian kid in East Jerusalem was taken for an interrogation because a settler complained that he was playing with a plastic gun. A 6-year-old Palestinian kid was called into an interrogation in East Jerusalem because settlers complained that the kid was playing with a plastic gun. That story in itself, that it starts with a 6-year-old. Let's remind you guys, last year, a 7-year-old kid died because he was literally scared to death. Literally scared to death. Maybe we can do the same harassment we can do to her that she did to you guys. Yeah, ממש, לא. את גרה על אדמה גנובה, מותק. You live on stolen land. It makes you a thief.
הם רצחו את רבין, את יודעת את זה. את יודעת, הציונית הדתית, עלק, ציונית דתית.
Okay. Israeli occupation force. Israeli occupation force found it absolutely necessary to totally smash a car. They find it extremely funny that the people that should be ashamed shout at us that we should be ashamed. Zionist little shitheads shouting to us that we should be ashamed. God, we're living in such an upside down world. So anyway, the Israeli occupation force found it absolutely necessary to vandalize, break into our car, totally seriously destroy it, destroy whatever they went. Their excuse was they were looking for weapons. They didn't ask the owner of the car. Now this car is used to move around a disabled 32-year-old woman. Israeli occupation force found it absolutely necessary to ruin her transportation. In Hebron, Palestinians were not allowed entrance into the Hebraic mosque. They had to close shops. So settlers could have a march with, of course, shouting their insults and throwing stones, while the Israeli occupation force was standing by. 10 days ago, what you're seeing here, this extremely empty square, was filled with thousands and thousands of people, settlers, that went up to the hill of Beta. They call it Aviatar. Now, while 7 ministers and 20 members of the Knesset joined them in taking over Jabal Sabir, the Palestinians who own that land, the people in Beta, for hours, received heavy gas, stun grenades, rubber bullets, resulting in 216 wounded people. The Israeli occupation force allowing thousands of people to take over the land of the people of Beta, who seriously for hours were under attack from the Israeli occupation force to ensure that they would not go up their mountain, ending in 216 wounded. 32 from plastic bullets, including journalists, while settlers were on the mountain of Jabal Sabih cheering and watching what the Israeli occupation force was doing to the Palestinians. So far, since 2021, that settlers took over Jabal Sabir. 10 Palestinians have been killed in Beta. 10. Israeli occupation force, I'm trying to read here, escorted and secured settler attacks on houses. Unfortunately, I didn't write where. Yeah. Jude, we're missing a word. In where? Masafayata. Masafayata. Wow. This is seriously, there are a few. Masafayata. Okay. Said and activists were trying to get to his land as usual. They were prevented by the army. Last Saturday, 6 activists were arrested. They were all the while a settler is standing with the army from Ma'ale Yair. He's standing next to the settlers, next to the army, while 6 Palestinians, 6 activists are being arrested on their land, right? It's the land of the Palestinians. Closed area. Yeah. That was one in Masafayata. I have more. Let me find. Oh, I'll find it later. Don't worry. It's probably under the settlers because this is under the Israeli occupation force, army. Settlers attacked Palestinians. Now, this is in general what happens. The settlers will attack the Palestinians. The Palestinians will react. Then the Israeli occupation force will attack the Palestinians because how dare you try to react on an attack that is taking place at you? Israeli attack. So lots of Palestinian journalists were attacked in the last week and a half. Now, East Jerusalem last Saturday. God, it's like the Holy Saturday for Christians. Now, Israeli occupation force did not just attack the Palestinians in Al-Aqsa brutally. They really took that a notch up. On Saturday, the Israeli occupation force attacked Christians that were trying to reach the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Normally 10,000 people are allowed inside. I've seen pictures from past Holy Saturdays. Breathtakingly beautiful once they light it all up. This year, the Israeli occupation force decided no, only 1,800 can join. They already gave permission to 700 Christian Palestinians in Gaza. They took those back. These people were not allowed to come. They turned it down to 1,800. Now Christians are coming from all over the world for this holiday, just like Palestinians are coming from all over the world during the Ramadan. There's one French guy that came by foot. He walked all the way from France to get to Al-Aqsa during the Ramadan. So people are coming from all over. They were trying to get to the the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Israeli occupation force found it absolutely necessary again to beat up innocent worshippers that are not of the Jewish faith, not allowed, not accepted in Israel. Now, we do know that they're trying to pass a law that as a Christian, you are not allowed to try to convert people to Christianity. That is going to be a crime in this country if the law passes. Yeah. God, I do not even believe I'm saying these words. Ramallah. A truck of the Israeli occupation force drives on purpose into a parked car. On purpose. He's swirling, drives into it, ruins the car, and keeps on driving. Another one in Hebron. The main entrance to the mosque was closed for the Palestinians. So worshippers were standing as close as they could to the entrance, and they were also not allowed to do that. So they were pushed out with gas, shock bombs, plastic bullets, the whole fucking shebang. Because it's Hebron. And for these 800 settlers that are living there, the 220,000 Palestinians and an old city where the Palestinians have no access. Sure. Hebron. And of course, Jenin. There's not a week, I would say, that the Israeli occupation force okay, okay. Yeah, I need okay. So, then Jenin, Israeli occupation force came in during the day, not, like the big heroes that they are. No, they were hiding in a fucking garbage truck. Hiding in there. 8 wounded, including a 16-year-old woman, 68, and a paramedic with live ammunition. Again, Jenin, Area A. It's under Palestinian authorities. We have nothing to do there. Well, we can kill some Palestinians. That's what we can do in Jenin. Jericho. For not really clear, besides, being a Palestinian at the wrong time, because one of the Israeli occupation force guys clearly didn't get a hug from his mother. So they stopped the car, attacked the driver, arrested him, released him, and he had to get rushed to the hospital because he was so fucking beaten up for no reasons whatsoever. So you get stopped, you get beaten up, you get arrested, you end up in the hospital for what? Being a Palestinian in occupied Palestine. Seriously. Kader Adnan, I hope I say his name right, probably wrong, I'm sorry. He is on his 76th day in his hunger strike. He is almost dying. He is on a hunger strike against his administrative detention. From day one, he was arrested. He immediately went on a hunger strike. So that's for 76 days. The Israeli occupation force refuses to send him to a proper hospital. He's in jail. And seriously, I give it a few more days. He's passing out, talking, problems breathing, problems drinking. He's being held for no reason. If there was a reason, there would be a court, there would be a trial, there would be evidence. You cannot put people in jail just because you think they might be a problem. You cannot put a potential terrorist in your head in jail and call this a democracy. 1,000 Palestinians are right now in jail without a trial. Kids are in jail without a trial only because they're fucking Palestinians. How sick are we? On the other hand, the Israeli government has more than enough money to double the budget to monitor and prevent Palestinian construction work in Area C. So let's be stinkers and let's make sure that Palestinians who for the last 55 years did not receive any permit to build. I gave you the numbers a while ago. I don't remember what it was. It was like 6 versus permits for Palestinians in East Jerusalem versus 55,000, something ridiculous like that. So 55,000 permits to build for settlers and 6 for Palestinians. Yeah. But we are going to spend more money to monitor and to make sure that they do not dare to build another room for their additional kids that they managed, to push out in the last 55 years. I look at my grandmother, and if I look at that family, we grew with 30 people at least. So Palestinians grew with at least, every grandmother grew with at least 30 people. Where do they live? Israel doesn't care. Okay, then we have the settlers. The settlers. Zaatara Junction. They attacked the camp. The settlers attacked Palestinian camp where only women and children were staying. They threw stones, they cut the tent sheets, they destroyed the solar panels, and they cut water trekking tires. Nobody was arrested. Albira. The settlers attacked cars, Palestinian cars. They shot in the air with live ammunition. Israeli occupation force stood by and let it happen. Al-Ruba, settlers, Rakba, settlers attack a house with stones and glass bottles. Israeli occupation force stands by, let the settlers do it. But live ammunition towards the Palestinians who were trying to stop the attack. Palestinians got wounded. 0 settlers got arrested. Wow. Muharas, I don't even know if that's a proper word. Settlers attacked the Palestinian ambulance. They took the paramedic out of the ambulance and beat him up. 0 settlers were arrested. Kisan, I apologize for the names that I'm seriously braving here. Kisan, settlers attacked and injured a shepherd. Israeli occupation force arrested the shepherd. Hawara, settlers shot firecrackers at a shop. They tried to break into a house. Israeli occupation force, what was the answer? They closed the shops on Monday. Everybody had to close. It was a holiday, of course, for the settlers. So in Hawara, they had to close shop. Again. Oh. Ras Karkar. Settlers vandalized 20 Palestinian cars. Khir, back to Masafar. Shepherds were attacked. 2 Palestinians were arrested. Settlers, 0. I repeat this sentence. Khir. Settlers attacked shepherds. 2 Palestinians were arrested. Settlers, 0. God, it's unfucking believable. Tormusaya. Shepherds were attacked. Part of their flock was stolen. Sheep were killed. 0 settlers were arrested. Another one, Masafar. 2 settlers come down, they attack shepherds. The Israeli occupation force comes. Palestinians tell them this is our land. Israeli occupation force agrees. They are leaving. The settlers are leaving together with the Israeli occupation force. They're standing up the hill. 2 hours later, Israeli occupation force decides to throw down tear gas, the whole fucking shebang. Arrest Palestinians. Wound them. They take these Palestinians to the illegal settlement where the Israeli occupation force is getting food and drinks, while the Palestinians that were arrested are being thrown into a corner for hours. No police came by to properly, take them, whatever. Nobody was notified. They just took them, threw them in a corner in one of the illegal settlements, and then afterwards threw them somewhere in the middle of the road and go back home. This is what the Israeli occupation force is doing in Masafar every fucking day. They did not get access to lawyers, no police. Unfucking believable. Next to Talia. Haras. Wow. Haras. Haras is close to Ariel. They are repeatedly being harassed. the Palestinians by settlers from the neighborhood. Now, they found it absolutely necessary this week to go and visit. There's a grave that the settlers have decided that's the grave of Yehuda ben Nun. This is, of course, total, absolutely fucking bullshit. There is a grave, nobody knows who's inside. It might be my fucking great grandmother, as far as I'm concerned. No, the settlers decided that's Yehuda ben Nun. They have now the claim on that grave. So between 9 o'clock in the evening and 3 o'clock at night, all the people in Garas had to stay in their houses. They were on lockdown so that the settlers could go and visit this grave. Cars were burned, houses were attacked, the main water pipe was destroyed, ambulances were not allowed in, and the Israeli occupation force was standing by doing nothing, and not one settler was arrested. A tiny little pogrom took place in Garas. I didn't see anything in the regular media. Now, this is normal, guys, what's happening in Garas, but it's a tiny pogrom. You're on fucking lockdown so that other people can walk through your city to go and visit your grave that has nothing to do with whatever you claim who's there. Your houses are getting attacked, your cars are being vandalized, and that's all A-okay with the Israeli occupation force. And then Hebron, where earlier this week, 5 or 6 Palestinian shops in the old city have been demolished in the middle of the night. Now, I saw the video. Now, Hebron, honestly, you cannot pick your nose or fart glitter without the Israeli occupation force knowing it, because on every fucking corner there are cameras. Everywhere. Now, the noise, they used machinery to demolish these shops. These shops were closed by the Israeli occupation force in 1994, after the massacre that took place in the mosque, where 29 Palestinians were killed and I don't know how many were wounded. The reaction by a settler in the mosque, the reaction of the Israeli occupation force at that point was to put Hebron, the Palestinians, on lockdown for weeks. Since then, whole streets are locked for Palestinians. They are not allowed to walk those streets. 800 settlers today are living in the old city in Hebron, or in Hebron. There are houses there of Palestinians that they have not been able to visit those houses because they are not allowed to walk the street. Strongly suggest to find the movie Hebron H2O Occupation Lab, where you can see what Israel has been doing in Hebron. And what Israel has been doing in Hebron, it is an occupation lab, because whatever works well in Hebron is being implemented in occupied Palestine after that. So there's like advanced technologies, there is AI face recognition, you have blue and white wolf, that again, every person is being, filmed, photographed. If they decided one of the, 50, 60, I thought it was 200, but a huge amount of checkpoints to go through as a Palestinian in Hebron, in the old city. From afar, there's a gun on top of it, so from afar they can just, shoot anybody with the machine gun that's on top of one of the checkposts in Hebron. Now, even the word checkpost should say already apartheid state. Da, 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 da. Yeah, these are some of the atrocities that have taken place in the last 10 days, guys. With close to, yeah.
Today, Ramadan or
Tonight.
holiday?
Tonight the holiday starts, so it's still a Ramadan.
But why they are so happy and
Because it's over, man. The end is near. And to go into my Elvis. And now the end is near. Na, 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 the final curtain. Okay, I will not do that to you guys. But to summarize, and then I will shut up. 100 Palestinians have been killed so far. Close to 5,000 Palestinians are being held in Israeli prison. Close to 1,000 under administrative detention. 2,300 Palestinians have been arrested only this year so far. With 6 minors, 6 kids are right now being held in Israeli jail under administrative detention. 6 kids. Earlier this week, we also found it absolutely necessary to arrest 3 little brothers, 8, 12, and 13, for throwing stones. Yeah, 8-year-old, why not? We can. And then, of course, the fucking insane story about the 6-year-old, because he was playing with a plastic gun, and the settlers did not like it. So, yeah, and the holiday starts tonight. Holiday. Next week, there will be Zaatara. Not with me. I'm saying that already now. Two, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. Nice. 20 people. Join us guys next week. It's in general really, it's a quiet demonstration. Stand in solidarity with the Palestinians against the occupation. And to show them not every Israeli is a racist asshole or a thief. This year is the first year that the United Nations will commemorate, whatever you want to call it, the Nakba. Something that is not being discussed in Israel, the Nakba. But it's honestly something that, since I became an activist, I cannot celebrate Independence Day anymore. And also this year, Israel has decided that the yearly remembrance is not allowed. Palestinians and Israelis standing together in solidarity, because it's not just one side that lost people, every side lost people, but there's nothing that scares Israel as much as friendship and solidarity with the Palestinians and Israelis. That doesn't work. And 2 of these examples are the 2 guys that I mentioned earlier, that I really look up in my notes to remember. The activists that Tom Randall, and let's not forget Rachel Corrie, who was driven over by a bulldozer. She would have been in her early 40s now. So she also was an American activist driven over by a digger, I think it's called in English. God, I've seen pictures of her body. It's horrible. Also here, nobody had to pay for her horrible murder, claiming the driver didn't see her. It's so hard to believe. We have the same story regarding that one from a year plus ago of the Palestinian sheikh, I call him a sheikh, who was killed also last year, driven over by a truck because he was trying to stop Hajj. It wasn't the sheikh, it was Hajj. Hajj from Asafariyata. I'm sorry, Hajj, I don't remember your name right now. Same story. We drove over his body, left. Israeli police saw it and left. Did not call an ambulance. Poor man, seriously poor man. And again, indeed, what I said earlier regarding Tom Randall, who was supporting Palestinian kids in Rafah. He got shot. And no accountability. There never is any accountability. Not for the settlers. And not for the atrocities that the Israeli occupation force are doing on a daily basis. So that's it, guys. Some of the stories. Look at these beautiful people. Oh, go back. I'm done talking though. Enough with Jewish terrorism. Occupation kills.
So, Jude, what's your impressions of today?
It's very quiet.
It's very quiet and it's very uplifting.
Yes, it
you
is.
know, there's been much more traffic than usual
Yes.
from the Palestinian side, and Palestinians really seem to be appreciative
Yeah.
of this that we're here.
Yeah, I
They
agree
don't have
with you.
something to talk about over there.
They're partying, celebration
Their
tonight.
holiday dinners
Yes.
this afternoon.
Absolutely.
And that's a good thing. The
Yeah.
word will get around.
Yeah.
And hopefully the day won't be so far away when there'll be Palestinians that will come and stand with us here as well.
That would be nice, right?
You know, once they feel enough security, then maybe that will happen.
Agree with you.
And then we'll be at the beginning of the change.
Yeah. But, as we all know, right now there are immense consequences for Palestinians that dare to protest. They get killed for it. They can go to jail. If they dare to raise their heads and talk back, how dare you? So we will do everything we can to by arresting 6-year-olds that are playing with plastic guns. So we were trying to do everything to intimidate them as much as we can. Oh, I have my car not here. Ah, that's stupid. Okay, I have to check that. Let's go there. Let's see if anybody wants to talk. Besides me? Oh, go back. Oh, there's enough time. wacht, פת לי על הצבא.
יש שקט.
אין צבא. חשבתי כאילו שאני...
לא.
Yeah, indeed. Here they all left. Yeah. 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 Remember the first pictures when we came in? Closed military area, all empty. Looking there in the eye.
לא, אני אשמע.
בסדק...
Chika. One of you guys can see him.
היום חג, עכשיו חג, לא רמדאן. לא חג, לא רמדאן היום.
בוא רגע, פה לא עברנו.
בגדה השמאלית כבר ידענו את זה.
תודה חמור, תודה. ראיתי כבר כאלה, היו...
זה היה מישהו בטפלה, שבא והקים את הכל ואז ירח והחלות
Ronit,
לא, אני נתקלתי בכמה סיטואציות כאלה.
are you excited for your speech?
She didn't even start to prepare it. She waits for an inspiration, but it will come, and we are sure that I'm sure that she will forget us. By the way, now she's a celeb, and we are, you know, the plebeians.
I need a quote. Maybe Jonathan Geffen.
I thought Jonathan Polak. I was like, oh, that's a nice quote. Yeah. You know, something for Jonathan who isn't there. Or maybe he is allowed.
I'm so afraid of the speech.
Oh.
But it needs to be short, right?
No, you can be as...
את לא היית פעם בטקס הזה?
הייתי.
Yeah, so you
אז את לא
know.
יודעת איזה חלטורה זה?
שעה,
יש כאלה שמדברים 8 דקות,
מדברים,
יש כאלה שמדברים דקה וחצי.
Yeah.
לא. It's gonna be very short.
Short and to the point.
Brief.
Yes.
חלק מהחן של הטקס זה הקלאמסיות.
כן, עומדים על המדרגות.
אם הנאום שלך לא יהיה טוב, נעבור לשידור המסלח.
Yes, so there are two let's call them events happening next week. I don't know the difference. maybe Danny can explain to me. So hold on, let's... Okay, so Danny, can you explain there are two events happening next week?
Yeah.
Like one on Monday and then the other one on Tuesday, one in Jerusalem, or both in Tel Aviv?
Look, to a certain point, I'm confused myself. But I think that you mean, first of all, a giant event
Yeah.
in Kaplan Street in Tel Aviv.
Okay, but that's a party. That has nothing to do with the Palestinians.
It's nothing to do
No,
with
we're
Palestinians.
talking here Palestinians, like the standing together. What's,
Yeah, you know,
it's one is-
I'm not going to be cynical because my friend and family, some of them will be there. But, you know, it's the Jewish coalition. And the event in Jerusalem is a traditional event. It takes place already the 26th year.
Right. That's what Ronit is going to talk.
She is going to light
One of the
torch.
things. So that's the alternative.
This is the alternative to what happens in
And-
Mount Herzl.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
This is the alternative.
And normally we also do that with Palestinians, but they're never allowed to join.
No, I think that you're mixing it with
Mixing
another
it-
event,
Yeah.
which is the co-event
Yeah.
of families
Right.
who lost
Who
their
lost-
dears,
Okay.
which take place in Tel Aviv,
In Tel Aviv. And
but not at the same day.
The day before.
a day before. Exactly. So they're both in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
Also the lighting of
No,
Ronit?
no.
No.
The lighting of Ronit is near
The Knesset.
the Knesset, but nearer to the Prime Minister office and the building of Bank of
Where
Israel.
it was last year.
It is always there,
Yeah, always
and
there.
it's not. It is meant to be there
Yeah.
because this is a place where there is, a plaque on the memory of Emil Grünzweig.
Okay.
Okay, so unofficially it is called the Emil Grünzweig Square,
Okay.
and there it is.
There it is.
And it's always in Jerusalem, of
Okay.
course. And
And that's the alternative.
I hope that this year more people will come because usually we're talking about few hundreds.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
all. I hope that in spite of the fact that there are other events, more people will attend this event where Ronit will.
And that's on
represent
Monday.
us.
And that's on Monday. Yeah, because Tuesday it's the holiday already. Yeah. Okay.
לא, רגע, אני כבר התבלבלתי. מה
The
כזה?
Memorial Day is on Monday, and it will take place at the Gene Yehoshua.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
And
okay.
on Thursday, it's gonna be
On
the
Tuesday.
ceremony at
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
Tuesday evening.
Tuesday,
Ceremony
Jerusalem.
in Jerusalem.
Okay.
So a lot to do.
Yes.
Many choices.
Yeah, because isn't also on Tuesday the big party in Kaplan?
Yes.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yes. And you think
It is
people
not
are
a
wow? No, it is a party.
and
It's a party.
demonstration.
Yeah.
It's a party for people who
So
don't
there will
want to.
be more people there
Yeah.
than
anywhere
what we
else,
have in
yeah.
Jerusalem. But I think that our event in Jerusalem is not less important.
No, I agree. I agree. Okay, so Monday in Tel Aviv, that's the big one, and Tuesday in Jerusalem, and that's the smaller one. Guys, so Monday, Tuesday Ronit will talk. Monday in Jerusalem. I didn't want to go there. I found it so clumsy last year, indeed. But at least we have some clarity. What is when, and you can always look back. Adi, I hope that at least, if you're watching still, that at least you're sitting in the sun, having a nice ouzo while you're in, on your island. At least that. Because as far as I'm concerned, we're done here, and you can have your holiday, enjoy. It's all quiet here. And tonight, I thought actually yesterday, I think people are confused here. I'm not sure if the Ramadan is still happening. I think the party started yesterday. But hey, what the fuck do I know? Hi, Mayor. Hope you're feeling well. You're being missed here. Hope your back is okay. I do agree with Martin though today. There are lots and lots of Palestinians on the road. Eid Mubarak. And they are really happy to see us. So that's always nice. That's what we're standing here for, guys. That's what we're here for. So join us next week when I'm not here. Somebody should replace me. Should, come and stand instead of me.
אז זה מה שיש לי לומר עליהם. ואני יודע שיהיה יותר רק בלי בג"ץ.
Checking that all's good. There was an accident over there. Oh my God! Okay. So let's talk on my camera. I don't want we fall for that one earlier. People do not need to know where how we're going. It's getting warm. 8 Mubarak! That is good, guys. It is good. It is good. I've been sick for 10 days, and I'm home, I'm sick. I've come up with like a male, and I'm sick. Oh, I'm so sick. But resulting in just being home, just reading all the crap and seeing all the crap and all the nastiness that's happening every fucking day. That makes it all so fucking like, what the hell, man? But then, indeed, besides having friends who lift us up, honestly, standing here and getting the happy support from the Palestinians really makes my heart a bit pinker today. And I need a bit more pink. Now, I'm extremely aware how privileged we are by standing here without any consequences. Because we cannot say that for the Palestinians. And we are with a nice group today, so yeah. It's really funny. You have people passing, Palestinians, and they have this look like, what? Don't really get it. Or very excited kids like, oh my God, look at that. Look at that. People that are standing here against the occupation instead of beating them up. Really? Is it there? Say you don't like it? Leave. Just leave. Let's see if I can do already a bit more. So, oh my God! Seriously, look at this, guys! We got a zoom. We got a zoom. Zoom. I think in the end, I don't know what it happened. Yeah, I was doing a dance. עומדים נגד הכיבוש. נגד הכיבוש. יש עוד אנשים, ברור. אתם נגד הכיבוש? אנחנו נגד הכיבוש. Oh, I'm so happy about my Zoom. Now you see those guys, they're seriously little shitheads. No other words for the Chinese settlers. Little shitheads, that's what they are. Little shitheads. Look at him. Oh, I'm getting the middle finger. They are so charming. They don't have hair on their balls yet. And even still, they do think that, one day, karma.
Welcome to Palestine.
Eid Mubarak! I so hope I said it correctly. Oh, I'm so happy with my zoom. So, yes, horrible stories. One Palestinian is on a hunger strike already for 74, 76 days. I'm without my notes now. He's not going to stay alive much longer. He's on a hunger strike against his administrative detention. Israel also decided to stop the investigation regarding the death of Dr. Muhammad al-Saibi, who was shot at one of the gates at Al-Aqsa a few weeks ago. Israeli occupation force claimed that the guy was trying to steal his gun. Story of the Palestinians is that he was trying to assist a woman who was being harassed, whatever, by the Israeli occupation force. Interesting enough, even though the old city, every fucking corner has cameras, there's not a square or a centimeter that is not being filmed. Interesting enough, cameras weren't working. Body camera of the guy who killed him wasn't working. He's dead, so we can't hear his story. But the Israeli occupation force decided no offense had taken place because it's a-okay to kill Palestinians and claim self-defense or claim dangerous or claim he was trying to claim. It's all fucking claims. Now this other really weird story that I haven't figured out yet what it means, because it was late, and I think a year ago there was this story in Zaatara with a girl on her way to school. Israeli occupation force claimed that she attacked an Israeli settler. Also here, of course, no cameras, or the video that's there, you can't see shit. Now, if I understood correctly, she has been found guilty of trying to do an attack, but I'm not sure if they're going to do something with that. She said smaller neighbors were sick and we should die. And these are the people that feel that look at this, look at how pretty. And this, dear people, are the supreme Jewish settlers that think they are better and above anybody else that does not agree with them. They're violent, they're thieves. Eid Mubarak! I really had to think for a second, like, oh right, fuck, what do I say? No? And he's handing out gifts. This makes me sick every week again. This makes me so sick. And this absolutely ensures, guys, that they know very well where their loyalty is. The moment they attack Palestinians, burn their houses, it's fucking disgusting. That's what it is. No. Well, at least not that I know. Even if she did spit at me, I don't give a shit. Fucking hoe. Yeah, so again, these hustles and bustles, I don't excite me. Just a shame that my camera stopped working. We've seen way worse. And again, I go home, I do a shower, all good. Palestinians are living this. The harassment and the curses and everything that comes with it on a daily basis. From settlers, from the army, from everybody. Now, another thing, if Palestinians are going on a trial, if they do have a trial, 99.7% of the cases they are found guilty. Versus 0.7% of settlers, if they are already being brought to a trial. Okay, so yeah, nothing else is going to happen today because of the holiday. Sheikh Jarrah, 4 o'clock, we will be there, be square, all good. I'm happy I have my Zoom for now. It's always nice when I have my Zoom. So much nicer pictures. I think it has to do with my gimbal though. So yeah, we're going back home. Home is where the sun is shining. Except for the Palestinians, as they are living under constant fear. They don't have a moment of security. There's my ukulele. Okay, I'm losing it. I do like this shot though. Zika. Eid Mubarak. Eid Mubarak. Akol Tov. Eid Mubarak. Oh, I so hope I said this correctly. Yeah, guys, we're moving. See you at 4 o'clock, Sheikh Jarrah. And an Eid Mubarak to all the Palestinians worldwide, but definitely in occupied Palestine. They deserve a freaking good holiday without getting beaten up. Enjoy it, guys. I hope it will be good. Yeah, there's nobody here. So we say, bye-oosh.